là-bas, je suis en train de faire le jeu. Attends, je t'en passe.
Hello?
Ouais.
Là, on m'entend maintenant. Je suis à 300 000. T'as combien, toi? C'est nul.
Ouais, c'est bon.
Vous avez combien, là?
Mais c'est bon, hein, la porte installée.
Moi, il est mis deuxième. Je suis à 94 de précision.
Ouais, mais j'ai tué le burger, je... Ouais, je sais. Je l'ai tué. J'ai 7600. Moi, j'ai
Le
7600.
boss, il est facile à tuer. Mon record, c'est 300 000, là.
J'ai 13 de représent... de... 13. Hein? Parce qu'en fait, moi, pour avoir tous les burgers, je faisais que de tirer par contre.
Ta précision, alors c'est 0 après. Moi, j'en rate plein, mais alors là, j'ai essayé de... Je les mets tous presque. Oh, bah, vas-y, je joue sérieusement, là. Vas-y, il me saoule. Vas-y, je vais faire comme ça, en fait.
Il y aura écrit en haut à gauche.
En vrai, il me cherche.
Ouais, il y a écrit 10 600.
Moi, en haut à droite, il
Ouais,
était
non,
mis
hein.
300 000.
T'as combien, Maya?
De qui, moi?
Ah bah là j'ai 20 400.
Oh, ça monte vite, hein. Dès que tu joues un bagage, tu
Vas-y.
t'en sens.
Moi, je suis aux 300 000, là. Je suis en train d'avancer encore plus.
Mytho!
Non, en vrai, j'ai mon record. Ton record, c'est combien, Maya?
Je sais pas. Ah, c'est 10
Attends,
000.
vas-y, je recommence.
Parce que j'ai 2 euros de faire.
Mais en vrai, c'est 100 000 et 140 000.
Mido.
Oh!
Ouais, c'est vrai,
Tryhard depuis
mec.
tout à l'heure, mais. Oh là, non, mais j'avoue, il tryhard de son live, putain, mais dans ce jeu.
Tout à l'heure, t'as vu combien
C'est
j'en avais,
banane.
Maya?
En fait, c'est banane le gagné, il a 92 000.
Ah bah,
Mais mec, ça compte. Tu sais que maintenant, mec, j'ai fait full ED tout à l'heure, je l'avais battu, mec.
Mytho!
C'est vrai, Maya, j'étais à
Voilà.
combien d'avant tout à l'heure alors? Je regarde
Ah,
sur un de mes
42,
lives avant.
mais je m'en fous! T'as combien, 1000?
18 600.
En vrai, Maya, si tu me crois pas, au pire. En vrai, si tu me crois pas, va voir sur une de mes vidéos. De toute façon.
Je rattrape un million.
T'as combien?
17 200. Oh, c'est qui spam sa manette là?
Bah, c'est moi, tiens.
Bah, c'est Maya.
J'ai tous défoncé direct, hein. Je te jure que j'ai pété mon joystick. J'en ai raté aucun presque. Enfin, là, j'en ai
J'ai
raté.
28 000.
Oh, banane,
Ouais,
le fou banane là. Oh, qu'est-ce qu'il fait?
Ouais, on va manger. Ok, les gars, je dois aller manger.
Après,
tout à l'heure.
t'arrêtes.
Oh non, j'ai voulu le 3.
Non, après, t'arrêtes, Amine, ton frère, vas-y.
En fait, on peut mourir 1000 fois en fait, si on a envie. Là, j'ai fait exprès. Vas-y, j'en ai marre. Bah, regarde une
Vas-y,
de
Maya.
mes vidéos au moment. Regarde.
Mais je m'en fous.
On dirait la banane là, tu vois. Je vous imite, les gars. Là, je l'aurais d'office. J'aurais fini d'office presque. Ça, c'est les salopes qui font ça. En vrai, j'aime pas. J'ai fait ça. Les gars, allez voir une de mes vidéos. Va voir une de mes vidéos. Va voir la vidéo. Je fais. C'est pas lui.
Moi, je suis mort 0 fois presque.
Vidéo. Attends, sur celui-là j'ai fait 36 vues, sur celui-là j'ai fait 21, 64, 9, 2, 3, 5, 27, 31, 5, 47, 32, 9, 10, 2, 2, 2, 31, 9, 15, 7.
Putain, c'est chiant, mec. T'as combien de records? C'est quoi ton record?
Je sais pas,
Oh.
40 000, 140 000.
C'est nul.
Quoi? 140 000. C'est nul.
Bah, revoir un screen, ça me nique.
Mais mec, j'ai fait un live, je te jure.
Non, mais maintenant, là, maintenant, en haut, il y a écrit combien?
Il est écrit en haut. En haut, tu veux dire, bah là, je suis même pas en train d'en faire. Ça m'a saoulé, moi j'ai fait 140 000, ça c'est pas affiché que j'étais premier, donc j'ai plus envie de le faire. Si t'as envie, tu me crois pas, tu vas voir dans une de mes vidéos, je sais pas c'est laquelle, mais... Non, non, j'étais pas en live dedans, j'espère que j'étais en live, parce que sinon... je dégoûte. Même que t'es venu un moment dans mon live.
Ouais.
Bah c'était dans cette fois-là. Oh c'est con. Ils sont tous la tilted, néo tilted. C'est leur con. Ah. Ah, miaou.
Bizarre.
Miaou. En tout cas, est-ce que je sais plus si j'étais en live. Est-ce que quand t'es venu sur mon live, est-ce que t'as vu? Attends, mais normalement t'aurais vu. Je sais pas, mon live il s'est pas encore mis, je crois.
J'ai pas regardé. J'avais pas compris. Je savais pas que c'était sorti.
Bah sur ce live là.
Moi, je suis à 52 000. Moi, je suis à 52 000.
Bah putain, si tu me rattrapes, mon record au moins c'est dans les 100 en tout cas, 100 000, c'est dans les 100 000. Peut-être plus, mais c'est beaucoup plus, mais c'est même dans les 110, 110 000 après, d'office après 110 000. Ah ok, il y a les dégâts de chute, je voulais tester juste. Oh my god! Ça sert à rien d'avoir des planeurs, mais de toute façon, ça gâche pas de trucs dans mon inventaire, donc je m'en casse.
suis à 60, mec. Ce mec là, je suis à 90 000. 90. Je te rattrape, hein. D'ailleurs.
Mais de toute façon, tu vas d'office me
D'ailleurs.
rattraper. Est-ce que t'es mort combien de fois, genre?
Je sais pas 3 fois. Ouais, pourquoi j'ai perdu 100? Pourquoi j'ai perdu 10 000?
Je l'ai tué.
Pourquoi j'ai perdu 10 000 là?
10 000.
Pourquoi
Moi,
j'ai
je
perdu
peux-
10 000 points?
C'est normal, moi, je suis en perdu au moins 16 000. Moi, j'en perdu au moins 20 000. Par boss, normalement, par boss, t'en perds 5 000.
Ouais, mais pourquoi?
Bah, parce que tes 5 000, tu les as jamais passés, en fait. En fait, c'est juste, il est écrit 5 000, mais en fait, t'as pas 5 000.
Mais quand je suis un boss, c'est quoi je perds 5 000 enfin.
Non, non, en fait, le jeu, il te rajoute 5 000, mais tes 5 000, tu dois pas les recevoir. Ça te les, c'est ça, tu les reçois pas, tu les perds. Oui,
Mais pourquoi?
bah parce que tu les as pas réussi. T'as pas réussi à les avoir, tes 5 000.
Bah si, parce que je l'ai niqué le boss.
Mais oui, mais oh, oh là là. Tu l'as pas fait des trucs bizarres quand même. Mais oui, mais t'as niqué le boss. Ok? Et quand tu niques le boss, est-ce que t'es mort dans le boss ou pas?
Non.
Ben non, normalement, t'es mort.
Bah là,
Tu
je suis
perds
contre un
5.
boss. Bah là, je suis contre un boss. Je suis contre un boss et je suis mort
Normalement, quand
0
t'es mort,
fois.
t'es mort, hein.
Voilà, j'ai tué, il y a écrit 5 000 victoires. Donc,
Quoi?
voilà. Je l'ai tué, il y a écrit 5 000 et il y a écrit victoire. Alors,
Oui, mais les 5 000, tu les gagnes pas. T'as fait victoire, donc tu les perds.
what the fuck.
Ouais, enfin, bref. Tu me casses les pompes.
Non, je suis en train de rattraper Banane là. Il est trop nul.
Bah, en même temps, moi aussi, je l'ai battu. C'est facile. Et tu vas voir, tu vas pas voir ton pseudo. Mais,
Non, mais il y a
Aline, il
écrit
est où?
joueur, il n'y a pas écrit pseudo, il y a écrit joueur.
Joueur 2, il écrit 2 joueurs et puis un peu ça. Ou un truc comme ça. Moi, il est écrit un joueur.
Alors là, le boss, comment je vais t'allumer?
Moi, il était écrit
Il
un
n'y a pas
joueur.
fini.
Normalement, vers la fin. Et à la fin, il écrit un.
Mec, les
En
annales
fait,
sont trop
une fois
faciles à
que
bait.
t'auras
Hein.
battu, une fois que t'auras battu moi, tu m'aurais battu, bah il sera toi aussi, toi il sera écrit un joueur. Parce que moi quand j'étais genre premier, ben t'es écrit un joueur. Et toi il écrit 2 joueurs, c'est ça?
Je sais pas, je sais pas.
Ok.
Ok, j'ai tué. Allez. Mais quoi, comment ça j'ai perdu? Voilà. Oh, j'ai battu.
T'as perdu quoi?
5 000.
Mais ça on s'en bat les couilles.
Comment ça, on s'en bat les couilles, je pourrais jamais le rattraper si je fais que de perdre 5 000.
Mais non mais tu gagnes. Tu regagnes après hein. Tu gagnes 5 000 après hein.
Non.
Mais si, quand tu tues après des petits burgers.
Mais on s'en fout des petits bugs.
Mais non, tu dois les casser comme ça tu gagnes. Tu dois
Un
les casser
burger,
les
c'est
burgers.
100. Ouais, je sais, mais je
Un
sais.
burger
Hein,
c'est
c'est
100
pas
hein.
Je suis pas bête.
Bah pourtant j'avais l'impression que si.
Ta gueule.
En même temps,
Tiens, moi, je le laser, le burger. Le boss, là.
en même temps il est
Le
nul
laser,
le
il est
boss.
tout nul.
Tu te mets entre,
T'as vu,
tu te mets,
en plus,
limite tu te mets
entre les ananas,
entre,
c'est
tu
bon,
prends
et tu
entre
bouges
les
pas. Les
ananas
ananas, tu bouges
et
pas.
tu bouges
Et
pas,
tu bouges
voilà.
pas et tu
Ce que je
voilà.
fais, ça c'est une technique, tu vois. C'est ce que je fais à chaque fois.
En fait, là, il se moque de moi, il fait du gauche-droite, gauche-droite. Là, il se moque de moi, quoi.
Ah ouais, donc du coup tu rates tout. C'est ça.
Non,
Elle
non.
passe tous à côté.
Mais quoi, mais ça va. Ouais, regardez.
T'es mort? Normalement, tu peux pas mourir en fait dans ce mode. Ça, ce qui est mal fait parce que une fois que j'ai, normalement quand tu battras mon record, tu sera écrit 1.
Bon, bref.
C'est chiant en vrai de faire ça. Parce que tu restes
Ouais, mais moi j'ai
beaucoup de
arrêté.
temps à jouer. Hein. De toute façon, quand tu m'auras battu,
Alors.
normalement il sera écrit un joueur, tu vois, le truc.
D'accord.
Allô, Maya?
Ouais.
Viens, on fait des bouffettes avant que je dois arrêter vite, vite.
Non, mais viens, on fait des games.
Non, non, bouffette. Parce que je devrais aller après. Allô?
Ouais.
Je te frappe en fait.
Hein?
En vrai, le jeu il est
Je te
trop
frappe
bien.
en fait.
Pourquoi?
Je sais
Parce
pas.
que t'es moche.
Ah, mais tu sais, j'ai battu Banane sur le jeu. Hein.
Ah, ah.
Bah oui, c'est
Mais
normal,
la tête de
mais
ma mère, j'ai fait 100 200.
Maya, quand tu m'auras battu, normalement il serait écrit joueur 1. Hein.
Là, mais en fait, tu me crois pas, Amine. Hein.
Si, je te crois.
Bah moi aussi je l'ai battu, il est facile.
En fait, t'as juste à faire avec ta main et voilà. Bah oui,
Vite, t'as qu'à les rater tous, gros, tu t'en bats les couilles de toute façon. T'as qu'à rater toutes tes
Ah, mais-
balles.
Pourquoi?
On s'en
Bah,
bat les
ça,
couilles.
hein.
Moi j'aime bien
Tu
le boss.
t'appelles Mahmoud, viens on se tape. Frère, viens on se tape, on va s'allumer. Viens on se tape, je vais t'allumer, tu vas pas capter, je vais
Oh, je
t'allumer, gros fils de pute.
Oh! T'as vu que j'ai voulu sauter dans ma map, je suis partie jusqu'à où? Alors, like,
Allez, voilà ça. On est vraiment des cassos.
Arrête, arrête. Parce que je dois arrêter le portant.
Vas-y, j'arrive. Ça va à toute vitesse là.
Je vais te rentrer. Allez,
Mais j'arrive, là, attends.
tu fais écrase.
Non.
Non, pas de vrai, mais je rentre pas. T'es prêt?
Deux. Est-ce
Ah,
qu'un peu
tu vois,
de chez lui ou pas?
t'aurais dû faire une edit.
Mais c'est... Non. Je peux pas faire lui.
Hein?
J'en peux plus, t'es où? Ah non!
J'ai fait tuer.
C'est trop nul. Ah.
Les milieux, ils sont trop bien, voilà. C'est abusé.
Ah, t'es trop drôle, la vie. C'est des blagues trop drôles, toi.
Et ils sont trop bien. Là. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a?
Ouais, mais
Je trouve
c'est
que
juste
je
des
suis
blagues
mal.
trop drôles. Non, je rigole,
Ben
on
non.
rigole pas. Non, mais putain.
Vas-y, viens.
Ah, moi, j'écoute pas beaucoup Dino. Presque pas, même. Mais les rares fois où j'écoute, bah, j'aime bien. Tu vois, pour une fois que j'ai motivé, tu t'es barré, connard.
Ah, ça va plus vite.
Ah non, je suis pas rapide. En fait, quand je vais modifier et tout, mais moi, j'arrive pas vite. Quand je vais aller vite et tout, genre, je contrôle plus mes mains, je te sens même plus.
Mais justement, c'est ça qu'il faut faire. Oh, tu m'as bloqué?
Bâtard! Non, j'allais modifier, viens.
Écoute, Rose, allez, pardon.
Mais t'as pas le temps de fermer. Par contre, tu vas fermer, tu vas contre un et tu vas prendre des coups de poing dans ta gueule.
On te pousse.
Oh, le fou!
Stringson,
Boy.
t'as pas vu ta بديل. T'as cru que j'étais une œuf, mais t'as pas vu ta mère. Hier, elle
Mais je
ressemble
suis
à
29
son
frère.
nique ta mère.
Ça peut modifier. Je me suis bloqué.
J'ai bien niqué ta mère.
Mais qu'est-ce que tu racontes, toi, ta gueule?
Ouais. Alhamdulillah.
La famille va bien.
Qu'est-ce que tu m'as dit?
J'ai 2 HP. Non. C'est quoi, j'ai dû à 52 HP, c'est bon?
Non, non, je vais t'éclater direct.
Non, mais je vais essayer.
À côté.
Avec un coup de chance, ça peut passer.
Oh, je viens pas faire la baston.
Zoom,
Ça va mettre une balle, je vais faire beau.
les go dans la
T'es où, frère? T'es où, bro? J'aurais dit, mais ta gueule, par contre, attention, parce que ta musique, elle est nulle, elle est pétée maintenant.
Moi?
Non, meilleur.
C'est parce que c'est pas chanté, voilà.
Non, mais toi. Je vois. Non, mais ça se fait pas. Non.
Boum, boum, boum.
Wow!
Cul dans ta grande semelle. On va niquer ta grande mère. T'es nul, bah c'est pour ça que je te ressemble, salope. Salope de bois, esprit, lemon, je dis. Chimola.
Salut, te bois, chocolatero, tu cabes de trabalho na massa, que tava sentado, bandeja de máscara. Eles fazem isso.
Chimoula, chimoula. Esprit.
Bah, je danse dans un carré.
Elle danse, danse, danse comme Diego dans
Mais
la
viens, toi,
bonbonnière.
mais moi, je la fais.
C'est magnifique les gars sur l'arrière, Wax, les gars, il a 31 points. Il a 2 kills.
Tu m'avais vu.
C'est magnifique les gars.
Je tire dans les
Sur
airs,
l'arrière,
là.
Wax, il y a Panda. DJ Wax. Airwax vient de faire... Ah, 3 kills, c'est magnifique. Il a 1432. 1300.
J'ai la hauteur. Allez. Oh le fou.
Airwax les gars, allez. Il a 1800 de bulles.
Come on down, and now it turns off since we're below the 30 player threshold. So now just all about the Elam.
Players, Airwalk's definitely an example of not a passive player. He was 500, a little over 500 damage above the threshold, which is insane. And it's shots like that, 80 to the back on the fish on rotation, that kept him safe from Storm Surge. Crusher goes down. Airwalks picks up his 4th elimination. One more Elim. We get into the placement points here of the top 25. Going to pick up 3 there. Get to top 15, that's 5. Top 5, that's 7. And that Victory Royale is 10. Reminding everybody, if you're just jumping into the stream, maybe you haven't heard what the format is like, always going to kind of refresh that in your memory. All the way up on high ground, looked like that might have been Skype. I'm not sure if dropped in. I'm not seeing him. I believe that was him all the way up there. Number of players, though, 25 heading into the 8th circle soon, as advised. 1 elimination, 35 points. No movement here. Bandages for late game, but that's not going to pay off right now. That is going to pay off. Carrera goes down. Another one, the follow-through finds Ghost on the move. Looking for the 3rd. The triple gets it. Exon down. 4 eliminations now for Advise. Playing absolutely incredibly. The heads up right now. You'll love to see it.
Oh, baby, a triple. Well done right there. And that was Skype up on the high ground. You saw him now just drop back down with a number of players going up, getting closer to that 2nd placement threshold. Skype picks up Yahtzee. Mick the Beast also in this lobby. Another player who we've seen constantly in the top 5, desperately trying to get a solo spot. Because again, this is the last week. Kazrola does get ticked over by that storm change. Again, 60 seconds if you damage someone. Random siphon coming through, and we're into the top 15. 13 now with Airwalks on the mid-tarp and looking for more targets.
Imagine a situation you get a tag on someone and 50 seconds later they get eliminated by the storm. You get that siphon at just the right moment. Could be so clutch. The timing could be so important on that. 11 players left, 10 now as Sky goes down to the feed. Swaggy picks one off. 6 eliminations for Airwalks. Push through this wall, find a player on the rotation from behind. Back-to-back shots, takeoffs, gets eliminated. Airwalks picks up another one.
He's doing so well at finding people on the edge of the storm, getting next to him, and then just dipping out for a second. But the one thing you notice, he never dips out into the storm for longer than enough to take more than one tick. It does take a second to go through, and Majestic actually just picked up a triple of his own because of those storm changes. One player he elim'd, 2 got ticked over from the storm. That should be the player potentially up on the high ground, but now we have our top 5 Airwalks. 2 builds left, is running with that campfire now, but is sitting on 7 elims. Advise all the way up on the high ground. Majestic was on the low ground with Mick the Beast. Airwalks in the bottom right-hand corner, gets traded out by Mick the Beast. Zedek drops down in the shadow form. He's not jumping around, so the player doesn't know where he is. 80 to the body. Can he find it? Pushes through with the combat. Says, I don't need a pickaxe. I'll just take your wall anyway. Brilliantly done there, but now can he win the 1v1 from the low ground? Player is 1 box directly above him. He hears it. You see the fake ramps out. He goes up, edit off the side, takes the high ground, drops down on top of 1, 2, 3. He gets it.
Literally waiting till the last second. The fake out on the ramp with he had 1 build left at the last second. So he was literally almost the most efficient he could possibly be with all the materials that he had left. Opts to move up a different ramp, throws the opponent off, drop in from above. Excellent high ground take, excellent push with the combat shotgun, and the victory royale. You love to see it.
Well done there from Zadek now. You see Marcotte and Fool right on the edge of the zone. An intense little 1v1 right now. Trap does go down defensively. Fool saying, I'm having absolutely none of that. You can see he wants to try and get the materials that are there. Trap does get broken on the other side by Marcotte. And now you get a nice little box fight. So this is one of the things, if you want to learn how to get good at competitive Fortnite, learn to fight from a box. Blows the whistle, says it's time to go.
The whistle to signal the push. Honestly, oh, that's very funny. Push in there. Fool gets 2 taps there. The shotgun follows through a 92 crit. Gets in the elimination, double back, pick up the rest of that wood, anything that he can top off with. Shots coming in from the sides, gonna have to wall himself off, double air, and Ops, instead of popping the minis, to shadow bomb, just because I think the fear of positioning there and exposure, maybe adding a little too much attention. Did take 1 more tap on the move, gonna have a chance to heal up. Meanwhile, the top of this hill, thick with players, where they stacked up trying to make rotation here. 41. Well, actually, they're from the stream. Trick Pog rotating forward.
Crew also in the match was second last time we saw him there. We got a number of duo qualifiers over on the side there. Players looking to get their solo spot. You see Kuma using the stink to try and force the player forward, and then editing out. Boom, there goes the second one, knowing they can't stack in volume. And Quadra, that one smells. Go get yourself a gas mask. Try and queue back up.
When you're sitting on 3 elims now, holding the edit. Just gonna try and peek on through, deciding to apply a little more pressure. Oh my gosh, the back-to-back. The stink bombs, very lethal, especially at this point in the game. You have to realize these players understand if there's people that were caught rotating, got tagged up significantly, and didn't have the ability to heal, as will be the case quite often in games like this, where you have so many people in such a tight space. There's a good chance that people that are boxed up in front of you are potentially missing HP, maybe some fall damage, maybe they got hit by multiple people on rotation. They could have been, I mean, we even saw a Shadow Bomb player get shot just moments before that, and we're about 50 HP. That is a good opportunity to just chuck the stink in there, maybe do an HP check, see if they're low, and in this case, it pays off. 2 eliminations with basically no effort. And as you said before, we're looking to get the player count down to 30 before that storm surge goes away. We're sitting at 38 above for Dave, 32 players left, so 2 more need to go down.
Oop, boxes the baller in. The baller is going to just boost right on out. With that, now you can see on the side, Dave getting another tag there. You see that threshold number also going up. Needs to be conscious. He left that edit open, but the player, because his back is to the storm, isn't going to have time to take shots towards him. So well played from Dave. Other player pushes it, and Tripburn from Singularity kind of caught a little bit there. Seemed like he was going for an aggro play, but
I think potentially he expected Dave to not look back because, oh, the catch. Good grab there. Tripburn, I feel like was thinking, okay, Dave's not looking at me. I'm just going to step out. I have the angle. I'm going to take the shots from this side, and ended up kind of getting clapped very quickly. Dave's reaction rotation down there. I'm not sure how to say that name. I'm just going to put that out. It looks like a sneeze. I apologize.
Yeah, I'm not even, I normally even try and attempt on that, but we're in the top 25. Let's pay attention to the rotations. As you see, a number of players playing billiards there on the low ground, crew up on the high ground. You have WGS Jag, the player from South Korea, playing over in Europe right now. This is the most ballers I've seen in the lobby in forever.
The most ballers I've seen in a game easily this weekend.
I mean, I don't think we saw this many ballers in Europe when they were at 300 health. Europe has an affinity or like a particular hatred for its ballers rolling around.
We've made comments in the past about how they always seem to be fans of taking shots at players that are in ballers on the move when they have an opportunity to. Maybe a follow through here, the back-to-back, can't quite find it. But yeah, look at how many are left out on the field. This is a very rare sight for European qualifiers.
I mean, and it kind of compounds on top of itself because the more players who are in ballers, they aren't going to take shots at each other. And if you're not going to waste shots on baller players, you're not going to eliminate them. So, but once the explodes start coming out, that's when things get dicey because the RPGs can damage through the ballers, and with the 150 HP, one AR round into them and then followed by an RPG can be a ton of damage. But work, ignore the ballers on the low ground, running around like they're a game of marbles, and he finds Trockley, and he finds Elocraft right after.
13 players left. Still in the rotation here, taking a chance to pop a mini. Does have the campfire, may or may not put it down. Not at this point, the storm's too close to his back, so he's gonna have to push forward. Like you said, multiple ballers are still in play, and with players not jumping out and not having pressure applied to them, you're looking at way less than 11 people. The player count remaining, that's not the number that are actually forced to engage each other right now. The people in ballers are almost being ignored. The heavy snipe from behind, and Mavjo picks up an Elim to push inside. He realizes him. Look at how many people are around in the same box.
And instead, everybody goes up to the sky. No Elim coming out there. So all of a sudden, 3 up, 7 down. Telezeto on the ultimate high ground. Wesley Nutt and Blackso on the low ground. Jag 80X also on the mid-tarp. Telezeto looking for shots. Has redeploy and the flint knock. Not going to find any. So ultimate high is going to be in his control. 10 players left, but he gets challenged.
One more all the way in the high ground. Just barely lost it. The flint knock flying up above. What a play. Takes the high ground back. Has ultimate high, looking down from above, only 29 builds. Has the redeploy to catch himself if he has to jump off, if he runs out of materials, but we'll see here in a second.
Somebody else just went up.
Yep, you heard it, there it is, the fish flying past. Telezeto might take a shot. The flint knock kind of gets stuck in his own box for a second. This ADX dropping in. Mexi from Loot Boy in the middle of your screen there. Telezeto still has the high ground, drops down to the next tarp. Mexi building out, trying to stay in the safe zone. This is the most players we've seen in a zone this tight in a long time. The Rift.
That's one. Is one player up in the rift. So you have one player up in the sky. Telezeto on ultimate high ground. Power, Psyches, and Blackso down the low. You have Telezeto in your top right. Power in your bottom right. Telezeto looking for it, and he finds Mexi out of the sky, and he gets the Cypher. Now he's dropping down with the redeploy. Looking for Psychic on the campfire, and he finds it. Gets the Siphon, and it's enough to put him over the top for the victory royale. Telezeto, you are mad indeed. The 2 Elims being the swing. 12 points there. Well done, sir.
The transition of the shot with the flint knock
mid-air into an immediate descend,
the redeploy to catch
abonnés.
himself, and then the swap to the TAC AR and straight to the build while the player was sitting on top of both campfires. 200 IQ.
That was really well played from Telezeto. That's probably some of the best overall flint knock usage we've seen. We took high ground, I think, twice.
You did.
Going there, and then additionally picked up a sick Elim on the player out of the air with that heavy shot, and then dropped down. I mean, just well done.
Literally, you were saying he was unchallenged for high ground, immediately got challenged, and then used the flint knock on a single build out to take it back and force the player to drop. Well played. Well played indeed. What a loadout for the late game, too. Anyway, 43 players left. Next game, Europe.
42 players left.
42 players remaining. I just shouldn't say it sometimes. Looking for 41 players remaining here in a second. Someone trying to pick up another one. That was the first elimination for this player this game. By the way, quick reminder, 5 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. If you would like to queue in, you're in the European region, now's the time to do it. Those last couple in. This is the last week for solos to qualify to punch that ticket to New York City. Don't forget it.
And after that, there's no more solo spots. 8 more players will be advancing from Europe. We'll have 6 from NA East, 2 from NA West, and 1 coming out of Brazil. And then the solos competition will be completely rounded out these are the final moments. Again, don't forget, we will go a little bit longer than the queue times because the average game of full Fortnite is about 26 minutes long. So you need to let everyone finish up, get all of those results tallied in, because every single time it's going to come down to the last match of the server, those top point lobbies. And right now, Motor is trying to make a case to get into one of those lobbies as he's sitting in this cone looking for a peek. 42 players remaining, so again, everyone playing absurdly safe. Nobody wants to put themselves at risk, and Motor recognized that, trying to pile in on that player as Paquito and Freck get taken down, and we have our top 40, Tohaj, being taken down as well, and we're still 14 players away from the first placement threshold.
Get into the first full move circle here in a second. Circle 6 to 7, transitioning to the northwest. It'll be an interesting one, too. A number of players up on top of a hill. You see in the minimap there, that left side based around the supply crate on the map. Holding the edit here. Motor trying to look out and see if there's anybody that might squeak out. He's looking back immediately behind him. I don't know if he realizes the player up above has an RPG. Oh, he does now. If he didn't before, surprise, there it is. A quick attempt. And the seal off, the close off of the edit there. Quick reset, well played from whoever that is inside.
Yeah, I just saw a nightmare situation where he had pushed out right after that for the shot and just accidentally stepped in front of the heavy sniper bullet. Now you can see that storm surge turning on right there. Motor more than fine, 502 above. Might regret popping that shadow zone since had a community launchpad placed right next to him, but he's...
Oh, I don't think he regrets it anymore. Honestly, Sundown, I think he's pretty happy about how that turned out. What a shot on rotation, a quick 180 in the combat to the dome, picks up an elim. Sundown's mouth is literally sitting open. You can't believe what he saw. That was ridiculous.
But one thing that players might not be aware of, he bunny hopped right there to get maximum distance. So what that is spamming your jump button right as you hit the ground to get a little bit of extra horizontal distance, and it carried him past the player. So he 180 and one hit him with the combat. That's what I talk about when, like, sometimes I feel like these guys are playing a different game than I am. Yes, I know for a fact I could do all of those things.
That's not Fortnite. I don't know what that is, but that's not Fortnite. That's some craziness.
It's nuts. These guys pushing the envelope, but Mongrel, speaking of pushing the envelope, not going to pull a Mitro on the dual partner there, opens the door, gets over onto the side, and is desperately looking for every point he can. Doesn't want any interaction if he can avoid it. Will he find it? 2 HP? And he does! Motor gets taken down. 26 players remaining. Mongrel, that could have been your moment in the box. 2 HP. Erosi gets Aki. That's 2 more points going over for him. That could be huge. That could be it. And now Mongrel on the side of the zone, back up to 75 HP. What can he do with it? Will the siphon in the mats be enough? 70 materials on the side of the zone. 24 players left. Less than 5 minutes left in the queue times. If you want to go to New York City, you show up right now. And unfortunately, Mongrel is out. Let's see if he can get another queue as the rest of the match is now running. Provoked up on the high ground. You see Stompy, Martez also hanging out. Martez trying to take the high ground away, but SV Alman is up there as we hit the second placement threshold. Top 15 now.
Stompy picking up another elimination in the feed. Provoked at 3 eliminations from Fnatic here. Stompy picking up actually another one. Stompy absolutely owning the feed. Provoked trying to box up, stay alive, very edge of the zone. Takes the chance, an opportunity to pop that slurp and get a little bit of a tick. He moves forward, trying to top off the HP. Players fighting underneath him, looking for a chance to establish a base of operations on the move here. And it's going to be difficult. Does get the mini off, though. Looking for players from behind. Very common tactic here. You get into a safe area where even if it might be 3-4 meters, catches someone in the face with that combat shotgun. You look for any chance for a quick whip back, anybody moving in from the outside of the storm, because they're the ones that they're forced to move in. You can't sit out there. And so even if you have 3, 4, 5 feet ahead of them, you can look back and get a shot off and pick up an elimination. 40 seconds left on that European queue. Get in those games if you're going to try and get the last ones in. Quick edit, a peek through. Cubex gets tapped one time, very low. Now you have to remember there's a 60-second window after that damage where if storm damage maybe claims that player gets an elimination, it's going to count for Provoked. Dropping in here, 8 players left. Quick swap, shot, back to back, and MQ goes down. Looking for another, players underneath on rotation. Quick headed down to push in, finds another on the outside. One more, looks for another, gets it. Stompy gets another. 3 eliminations, the triple in the feed, and there's 3 players left. Provoke on the ultimate low ground right now. 1 mini pop, moves all the way to the edge, pops.
First
campfire down.
He's getting pressure from both sides now, and this is the top 3.
Oh.
Can't find the shot. It's AIM Cubex who gets it. That's 52 points 4 provoked. And again, each one of these elims, each one of them matters more when you're in these high points lobby. Martaz on the high ground, Kovacs on the low ground, 39 to 49 points. Martaz wants to close this out. 27 builds to the 0 of Kovacs, and that's going to be it. Martaz closes that one out. 43 points so far. Q times are closed. The last matches will be coming in, but for now, we're going to throw it back on over to Courage, who's in the studio.
Thank you, gentlemen. Yes, that is it for the Qs out in Europe. You see how dramatic it can be in these final moments. We still have more games to bring you. We want to make sure you get caught up to speed on those exact last matches, but I know, Zeke, we've had some things you were taking a look at that you want to show everyone at home.
Yeah, man, let's do this. We've got some cool clips as we make our way into the station. Just some really fun clips that I wanted to take a moment to talk about. Wolfsies, of course. Just had a dope flick shot. Look at that. Over on Violin, and just absolutely incredible. This is the level of skill. And I just want to highlight his rifling skills and just the way he approaches this fight. He knows the players down below, no builds, and you can just see he's using that brick floor, just ducking behind, making sure it's absorbing as much damage as possible. Airwalks. This is someone for me that I truly believe and I want to see go to the World Cup Finals, especially with the last opportunity. Him and his duo partner Nikov have already qualified in duos, right? Even though his other teammates, Kinsar and Hunter, have also qualified. The difference is that Kinsar right now is the only member from Solary that's qualified for the solo format, and Airwalks is looking to do the same. We're going to watch this incredible spree. Just look at the way he's navigating all this density, right? His game sense and his awareness is on point. He's going to pick up 8 elimination total in this run. Now, unfortunately, he does not end up getting the Victory Royale, but just look at this. He's unbelievable. Once he gets going, it's very difficult for him, for anyone to stop him. Now, we're going to see his untimely demise here. He is going to go and try and challenge a player. He's going to pick them off, and he does get traded back out. Now, keep in mind, though, he did make top points from that. Now, Tolecito, we saw this incredible play. I thought this was incredible because he used the Flintlock to shut down Mexi up on the high ground. And then just look at the HP from everyone else. He has HP advantage. He's so confident. He's just going to dive down and try and go for the challenge. Even if the player had traded out, he would have been in a pretty good state either way. So it was a pretty good game for these players. I mean, it's finals day. You know everyone's showing up big, making plays.
Insane right there. To have the confidence to drop on down, redeploy. But guys, I'm not going to hold this up. We've got our final games from the European region. Who will make it to the Fortnite World Cup Finals? Let's find out.
Thank you so much, Courage. Also, just want to give a shout out real quick to the guy running the AR wall. Whoever picked the screen that was right there, the way the 2 lines lined up with the black floor. It looked, I was sitting here and I'm like, all right, that's a cool shot. So, you know, hashtag Fortnite World Cup. We'll give a bunch of love to the observers. Give him some love right there. Great screen. But now we're on board. Again, these are the absolute final matches. Queue times are done. We are in Europe. 8 spots up for grabs for the Fortnite World Cup Final. This is your last opportunity. If you are one of the best, you need to prove it right now, or you will not be on that stage. You won't be playing with Tfue, with X2 Jordan, with Stompy, and 6J trying to make a case for being there as he picks up Zgrin and then gets on his rotation.
Absolutely ridiculous. Between games there, while everybody was watching the quick replay analysis, Sundown and I were talking about the different regions and just how certain aspects of each region stand out, and I think it's unanimous agreement that Europe has some of the best technical Fortnite and some of the most aggressive play that I think we've ever seen, and it is so much fun to talk about and so much fun to watch because these players are playing on a level that I don't think you have to imagine back in the day when Fortnite was, you know, it was the battle royale portion was in its, you know, early days. No one imagined the game would get to this. You can't possibly have said, oh yeah, one day we're gonna watch players, you know, the technical skill and building and quickly editing and dropping in through floors and pushing walls and doing all these things, everything that they do. No one would have imagined it was gonna come to this, the quick edits and push through Kais and picking up the first Elim. It's things like this. You could not have told me this is what Fortnite was going to evolve into. And you have to admit, whether you love or hate the game, no matter what you think about it, how things have changed and grown is fantastic to see. People are really pushing the technical skill that I think Fortnite has to offer in a way that no one could have predicted.
I mean, it's actually absurd to me, and like I said, I've been able to be a part of the process from playtesting through all of this.
You've been around since the beginning.
Yeah, I've never would have fathomed that players were doing this. I think one of the first things when I saw this, I was like, oh, it's good because you can be aggressive because you can like build at someone in your own cover. You don't just like hide behind a wall and stuff. And now it turns into, instead, these guys are building literal tunnels and mansions and skyscrapers in the span of 2 seconds. I think one of the plays we saw yesterday with the player, one by one, threw a trap down, edited a ramp, and shot all in the span of 0.2 seconds. I'm like, all right, you're playing a different game than me. Yeah, right there. Skype taking away Yarkos' ceiling with a single shot, double replaces it, double edits down, and then pushes in the space of nearly a half second. He gets it 50, or I was about to say 57, but 60 points now as the top 15 does
literally just
take over. The player gets taken down, and Skype is creeping up into that qualification range. Again, top 8 players will go, and this is the last shot. How they earn the points, top 25 is 3, top 15 is 5, top 5 is 7, the victory royale is 10. Each elim is 1, and Skype certainly knows that. He's been playing absurdly aggro. If he hits you, he wants to go.
You saw for just a second in there a quick attempt at maybe a heavy sniper shot, but he realized it wasn't loaded, opted back to try and push through the ramp instead. Very quick thinking on Skype's part to swap out for the combat shotgun instead of the tac. Pretty common there, player looting inside, but Skype more focused on rotation and position, as placement points will be everything for a player that is this close to making it to New York City.
That was so good by him to go around the back side of that building so he could extend the Shadow Bomb timer up to now get up to the mid-tarp. You have Light up on the high ground, 13 up Nay, now just dropping down on the tarp below Skype. So Skype is on secondary high, but he's boxed up right now. Light's going to begin to work top down, as we still have a number of ballers who are going to begin to get shot out as we head towards the second placement threshold. Kinzo gets taken down there, and Light continues to rain shots down onto these ballers, saying, hey, you got to play Fortnite with the rest of us. Burn your mask, get out of there. Top 15 is on the board. John 22 on Twitter. Calzo, Uno, OG goes down, and Light continues to check his top, make sure he's safe, and then rain shots down. Dalo gets taken out as we get closer and closer to the top 10.
12 players remaining. Light still ultimate high ground. Skype right underneath, and I believe I saw for a moment Benji Fishy was in this game, but it looks like he's been eliminated at this point. Kaizen on the ultimate low ground, going to have to take an opportunity to heal up if possible. 9 players left, and Light is looking for a peak shot on a player in rotation, trying to challenge potentially the high ground. The pyramid of the play underneath kind of signals to me maybe not pushing up just yet, and I think Light realizes that, taking a chance to look down at maybe other players in the move, and yeah, he sees another one. There's a scent of potentially elimination. Light getting challenged for high ground now.
It's Rafty for it and then drops back down. Really he's not going to be able to take it. Pops the shadow form and goes all the way down to the far side. We're nearing the top 5. Now, one thing to keep an eye on, look at the points next to the names. 56 on Light, 64 on Skype. This is for a trip to New York City, as Light is able to pick up 59 there. They want everything they can. 6 Shades, he gets Rafty, but Skype trades it right back out and loops back into the zone. Skype on the edge of the mountain tries to find the jump pad, and he gets it going to the sky. Light trades out Miles on the top, so now 60 to 67 points, but Skype on 55 HP. Light pops the Shadow Bomb. What's he gonna do? Opts to drop down, so now Skype has to know he's down there. Skype has no mobility. Storm ticks it over. Light gets the elim credit as well, and that's gonna push him up to 64 as well, so evens it up. We're getting down to the final moment.
Depending on where this was in their games played, we're looking at 64 and 67 players for Light and Skype respectively. That potentially could have been a prevention for Skype to make it to New York City, or pushing Light all the way close enough to qualify if he has a game left. People have to realize these end games, when you see players at those point counts fighting it out for the victory royale, it can mean the difference. We saw it, I think, last week in NA East, a team just literally fighting the last second, the very last match, and the fact that one team took the win is what put them in the placement to make the New York City.
It was week 6 duos, and it was RBK versus the Cooler Boys. The Cooler Boys, the Cooler Boys ended up winning the 2v2 from the low ground, got the victory royale, and the 3-point difference from the victory royale, not even the elims, was enough to deny the RBK boys a spot. So when we talk about high impact eliminations, high impact engagements, and everyone mattering, when the queues are closed, these are the last matches on the server, so not exactly live, but about 5 to 10 minutes delayed, you are deciding your trips. You're deciding other people's fates, and these are the moments when you need to clutch up. We've talked about before, you don't have to be the best, but you need to be better than the person across from you. And when you're dealing with the best of the best in a trip to New York City, that's still got to be really good.
Yeah. That's why I'm here behind the desk and not at the game.
I'm so glad these guys are so good. They make our job so incredibly easy.
And like, so much
fun. If the gameplay was really difficult, it'd be hard, but it's so hype. You guys are so good. Just shout out again one time, #Fortnite World Cup, to all of the players who have competed in the arena, in the tournaments, on Saturday, on Sunday. Thank you so much for doing this and making incredible plays and giving us this opportunity.
I do want to say too that one of the most common, I think, criticisms of competitive Fortnite is typically the shots through, kills only, almost finding that elim, gets one big hit, can't quite find the second. Exotics does pick that elim up. I was gonna say, one of the most common criticisms of competitive Fortnite is, everybody's sitting in 1x1s, not doing anything. You know, it's kind of slow play from time to time. I want them to pull this stream up and watch through these European games. Let us get to NA East and NA West and just how much pressure they apply at times. We literally just saw a player run out, push through a box with a heavy snipe and push inside and get an elimination, feeding into like window edits and shots through there with a combat shotgun. Competitive Fortnite, there's tension, there's action, there's pressure applied from every angle sometimes. You really have to dig in and watch long durations of this to see all the craziness that happens, because people are elevating the gameplay every time we watch it.
There's so many nuances, and I think the best part for me is every single day there's something new somebody is doing to push the envelope.
Yep.
There's always something somebody finds that is able to do. In every patch that comes out, somebody finds a new combination, or there's something that's slightly better. As Excite has now picked up 6 elims in this match. We've seen 3 of them. Woo! We've now seen 4 of them going to work with the legendary AR and the shadow bombs on the rotation, getting himself over to the sides of zones and then posting up and taking shots. You can notice, again, one thing, when you box up on an opponent's material, go over and up a grid space. You never want to be on the same level or one wall away from somebody else. Make them break 2 walls every single time, always.
You're asking to get pushed quickly if you land side by side, especially if you're about to force a fight for a wall. Excite looking for shots here on players in the rotation, a little bit ahead inside the circle. A rocket coming in a quick close, the close off the edit. Good reset there, he's gonna catch it before it blows him up. Looking back behind, player rotating the outside, he sees the silhouette, watching for the shot, takes it, gets it. Voxy goes down up to 198 total HP and 8 eliminations. We're looking at the top 15 here. In one more player needs to go down. Excite the forefront of the storm now. Waiting his time, trying to wait for that shadow bomb to tick out so we can box up.
This is an incredible game so far from Excite. With that pushing over, he's on a 13-point match right now. Let's look at the rest of the lobby. Archer up on the high ground. You have Miko, Lars, Wallboom, Motor, and Zyfler all on the mid-tarp. Rest of the players on the low ground. You see Noodle Kongan just get ticked over from the storm there. Motor going to begin to work top down, sitting on 41 points. Gets the headshot, knows there's white damage there. Player in the box, sees him get eliminated, but he wants to continue moving forward. That was Maxa and Excite, who both just got picked up, and Motor is completely out of builds with no elims. He has to find something or has to find a way to drop down. Luckily, a player building on the tarp beneath sees the shadow bomb drop, and he's going to use the pine tree to not take fall damage. Find Go-Go's on the side, and also gets all of his mats and a med kit on 80 HP. That could be huge. You have the ability with the campfire, but he's dealing with such limited ammunition in terms of the small rounds. Wallboom goes down to Artur, and we get closer and closer to the final placement threshold before the victory royale. Motor opts to pop the campfire early. If he goes to full 100, this could end up being detrimental to him trying to medkit if we go to full heal. However, don't think that's going to happen with 90 seconds left. Antaret gets Miko, and we're into the top 5.
44 points right now for Motor. Pressure from above. Gonna have to box up and wait. See if anybody can make the move. Like you said, a big material pickup just moments ago for Motor, but not enough ammunition to make a difference. Artur on the ultimate high drops down and reconnects quickly. Very important move there. You see he places a couple services and builds his way back up. Quick shotty shot. Anthrax trying to apply pressure. Player drops in, shots on the outside, gets Lars. Gonna have to rotate into the zone quickly as that storm is ticking for 10. 3 players left and pressure from underneath. Anthrax sitting on 2 builds. 15 bandages, but it's not going to be enough to keep himself safe unless he picks up this elim, maybe some materials. 2 big hits, can't quite find the elimination. Going to try and get ahead of the build. Shot from above, Pressure from the third party, and Motor picks up that elimination. A 1v1 heads-up situation. Motor at a huge disadvantage in the storm, ticking slowly, and Artor sitting on enough builds maybe to apply pressure. Down to 10 now, the drop in, and finds the elimination. Only 2, but it still gets the job done. A 12-point victory royale pushes Artor to 42 points thus far.
And again, don't forget, with the prize pool being double this week, even if you don't get one of those qualification spots there, the money is doubled in every single one of the placements, so each one of those interactions could be the difference in a little bit of a bigger paycheck. But now we're swinging right on board over towards one of the snowy biome areas in Happy Hamlet. 38 players in this match.
I think Happy Hamlet's worthless.
And what's it like? As in you don't like the drop spot,
No, it's
or
terrible.
as in like the town like shouldn't have ever been developed?
I think that they have outdated laws about leashing your dogs, and I also think that the loot positioning is poor. I do not like Happy Hamlet. If you agree with me, hashtag Fortnite World Cup.
All right, hashtag Fortnite World Cup. What is your favorite solo drop spot? I know Lupo's is a not Happy Hamlet, so what's your favorite solo spot? What's your current solo drop?
My go-to typically is going to be, okay, so there's a little pirate camp in the southwest of Pressure Plant that before the volcano went off, that's where I was consistently dropping. Recently, though, because of the changes, I really like Valhalla. I like the dance club. If I'm dropping solos and I'm not going for, like, because there's a different play style.
Competitive, super serious, ultra World Cup qualifier where you're dropping solos.
I'll go Valhalla, and if that's contested, I'll fly past the Snobby.
Okay, cool.
I like that west side of the map, typically because it is not often challenged. You have so many opportunities for rotation. The only problem is, like, you have the rocket base that now is kind of decayed a little bit to the northeast of Snobby. You have Valhalla that's up there. That you have a lot of places where there's going to be people that can see down from above. But I mean, you also have a quad in there. You can quad fly your way back over the Neo Tilted. What a back-to-back! That was 2 shots sequentially.
62 on the first guy for the body shot, finds the second player rotating and hits him with the headshot. We talk about the flintlock efficiency in the right hand. Scoggin, the right hand's there, just wow, you talk about the pirate camp right there, going to work with the flintlock. I'm a big fan of that west side of the map too. I know the little kind of broken house between Viking Village and where Polar was that's down there has 3 chest spawns, and you can rotate away. There's mushrooms there. That's one of my drop spots.
The ice too, you can feed into Greasy if you want to. There's a lot of chances to move over there. I think the west side of the map right now is one of the best for solos.
I'm just upset. I lost the covered bridge down south in between Lucky down there. Has 2 spawns on itself, and then the pirate cannon that used to be there had 2 spawns, and then the house had a spawn. So there's 5 spawns that were all in the one spot, and then you move right into old factories. It was really good, but lost that one unfortunately. Now on board here with Styler. CSC sitting on 42 points. You can see him trying to edit down the rest of the lobby.
Not sure about that shadow bomb.
He popped the shadow bomb like he was gonna rotate. He saw the supply crate and then like.
I think he thought about it for a second and said, you know what, I already used the shadow bomb. I don't want to make this, I don't want to feel like this goes to waste, so I'm just going to, instead, I'm going to push for rotation.
But you can see in the bottom right-hand corner there, that supply drop just goes completely to waste. There was no one there. Let's look at the rest of the lobby. Martaz, Crippa, Waldo, Kisanth, Orc H, Fool, Bayon, Mods, Blazin, so many players. Mexi over there in a baller rolling around. Talazito in there and still above storm damage. So if you are rolling around in the ball, you will be getting the ticks going there. Have to play aggression, have to play aggressive going through to turn that off or just tag somebody.
Knox in the feed a second ago, I believe, being eliminated by the storm. Looks like that threshold did get to him, down to 31 players. Need 1 more to go down before Storm Surge is no longer a factor. 94 above right now for Styler, taking quick peeks, maybe thinking I need to get a hit on somebody before it's too late. I'd say back-to-back hits is pretty good there. Picking up an Elim, pushing it to 30 remaining. 1 through the wall to the right. Quick shot, misses twice, but finds a third. Tart goes down, picking up the second Elim so far for Styler. 29 players left. We're 4 away from placement points. And this is so many people trying to rotate simultaneously through not even the ultimate low ground, but just kind of the mid is just full of people. Every single layer is a fresh tarp, and you have tons of new builds and a lot of metal coming up.
A lot of metal going through it, and you got to work through the old builds as Brism gets taken down and misses out on the placement point. So now on board here with Haibuzin as he makes his rotation. Mexi out of the baller, picks up Savid. Ghosty gets taken down as well as Hayabusa, as he edits down, gets the shot, and then the tick over from the fall damage, I think?
No,
That player might have gone through.
I think that player that he shot actually survived. There was a storm.
Oh, it was the other player who went through. Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay, understood.
Full picking up an elimination with fall damage in your feet in the top. 4 elims right now. Hayabusa trying to push up through. Like I was saying, the player builds that are out there right now, so difficult to push through if they're metal. It requires so many more melee hits from your pickaxe to try and break. It's going to slow you down. You need to take storm damage from it. It's going to put you in a worse position. You won't be able to get to the forefront of the storm while other players are trying to rotate. Next from Loot Boy, looking for a peek shot there. Going to drop out of the box. Looks like a little bit of a delay there.
Just madness on that low ground. Everyone is down there as we're getting closer. Boom, there it is. Top 15 Styler does get taken down on that mid-tarp by Mods. Harvey gets P-Sam. Mexi gets taken down by Zealous. Bayon there. Brilliantly done. Topped out on the light ammo. Kripa gets Fool as Mods gets blazing, and we're into the top 10. Top 5 being the last
Drops
placement threshold.
Martaz in with the edit. Catches him on the move with the corner edit and a quick swap. Oh, man. Sorry. That was insanity. What a quick reaction there, man. Now at 2 eliminations. Only 24 builds, but G just picked up all that brick a second ago. He's digging through any materials he has left. Bodobon all the way in the high ground right now. A single layer across, but it doesn't really matter. No one's looking up, and he's got RPGs for days. Looks like he's going to look down from above and try and take shots.
Good pick up some Kripa on this mid-tarp right now as Bothobon is going to work down. Bayon on the mid-tarp. Top 5 just happened as Hayabusa gets ticked over. Shadow, will he be able to pick it up? Bayon gets Shadow though on the turn. Can Bayon catch back up to the zone?
The
and
ramp.
Kripa gets caught by Bothobon on the high ground. The single tarp strategy on the high ground. The one rocket he fires down for an Elib and the victory out. He says you can take that out. 11 points coming out from Bothobon.
Well played there. Even just the single layer of brick, because there were so many layers of material below, that's actually really, really good thinking on his part as he's moving forward. He looks down and says, no one's going to challenge me. There's so much mass in the way that no one's looking up. I just need to keep this, I got to find a spot to connect it. And he dropped down and did that, that's a super common strategy, especially in duos. Typically you have players that are one's applying pressure, taking shots at people, while the other drops down and reconnects the builds, and they swap roles back and forth. I think we see Tfue and Cloakzy do that all the time. If you watch the stream, it's super, super common.
Zay and Saf, another duo that
100%.
kind of I don't want to say like made that more prolific, but like watching their VODs and
it's so
watching
smart.
them do it, it was kind of like, oh, here's the blueprint for how you go about doing this
Exactly.
correctly.
You're connecting the canopy of your build to structure that's already established underneath, because then if somebody shoots out what's way back in the storm, you're not going to run back and replace it. But now it doesn't matter because you have another branch connecting underneath.
That, and then you're
Very,
all
very important.
good. Well done from them there as we're on board here with Solari Airwalks. 49 players left, so just a tick under half of the lobby. Storm Circle 5 is closing, and we're also going to be rotating through pressure plant. So lots of geysers, lots of innate natural mobility, and a decent amount of mats and metal that can be reused. So it should be interesting to see what ends up happening here as we hop on board here with Train H's Alpha. Train H being the team Train Hard, hits the geyser and says, I'm going to zone.
There's players all the way up on the drone in the sky above. You see him Alpha on rotation, checking up above quickly. Gonna layer up twice to stay away from the player underneath. You don't want to get dropped in on somebody else's structure. Replacing the ramp with a cone so you can get quick edits in whatever direction you need. I do want to make a quick statement. You see these kind of edits, he's looking for shots now, and then he'll quickly do a reset after he feels like he's shot for long enough. You don't want to get caught gargoyling, tunnel visioning on somebody where you're exposed and someone might take a shot. And there's a lot of players in front of him. He might not see them, but they're there. But what I was going to say is oftentimes we see players do like the window edit and then instantly reset so that they can get transparency through the metal or the brick. More often now I've been seeing players do a door instead of a window, because at this level, even that imagine you have 3, 4, 5 frames where there's a window open, someone might sneak a snipe shot or rocket something in through the window and you're gonna get punished. Door doesn't do that. So
Close the door.
well, yeah, you put the door in and it's still just a solid surface. So you prevent any opportunity for somebody to sneak a shot in. Yampi there, I was going to say, you might want to reset that window, speaking of.
Mongrel in the lobby, Crew in the lobby as well. You can see Mongrel currently sitting on 55 points. Last time we saw him, he was at that 50 mark. So down to it. You can also see Storm Surge. He's 98 damage above it. Again, that will get turned off at 30 players, so expect aggression to come out. Second Shadow Bomb being popped and just trying to get to the far side of the zone, get away from people, box up, and be safe. Mongraal wants to play patiently, wants to not be eliminated early. Generally, you're used to seeing him play much more aggressive, but with everything on the line, with the queues being closed, with the last opportunity to book a seat in New York City, he knows he can't mess up. He has to get points here if he wants to be going.
You got to be thinking these players too when they're back.
Airwalks and Alpha Amons are both in the lobby. I apologize, but this place is stacked.
No, it's insane. You're right. I was going to say, players typically, too, at this level, that are watching the queue and watching the leaderboard, they're going to ready up, and then they're going to immediately go look to see where they are on the board as they go into the next game. Even sometimes they have a chance during their, like when they're boxed up in here, they'll pull up the leaderboard if they can on the website, something like that, and see if they can find out just how many points they need to make in order to place. Does not surprise me that Mongraal's trying to play a little safer, pushing over the top of this campfire player underneath. Another one boxing up inside metal. A lot of layers here. An attempt to maybe get a little bit of an advantage here in terms of elevation, pushing forward, branching into the next circle.
Oh, Baller almost took out his build there, which could have been absolutely devastating. Would have dropped him down. No tarp beneath. 28 players remaining. Look for shots. He finds it.
There we go.
There you go. Leon Flares goes down. 26 players remaining. Wolfies gets picked up by Krith. Mongraal up to 56 points. Looking for it, and that's 59 now as he hits the top 25. Player directly next to him on the box, but trying to pop that, and Crew goes down as well. Was in the top 25, but that was the player who was in the second place last time we saw him. You have Windstrike Mayhem, who was within distance. Now you have Airwalks, the Solari player, at 53 points, trying to drop him down. RPG up on the high ground. He follows it right away. Suat gets swatted out of the sky, but Astro SMZ is also making his push for the top as he's picked up his third Elim since we've been watching. Mongraal gets another one, picking up Romu as we get closer to the top 15. Airwalks getting some reloads into that combat shotgun, wants to make sure he has every tool available as we push down to the final fight. Airwalks up on the ultimate high ground. ETQ rounding around the storm. Mongraal going to challenge on the mid-tarp, and he gets Carrera, and he also gets into the top 15 as we slide on board with Train H's Alpha, puts the trap down, and he gets Astro. Astro knocked out. Could be his World Cup run over there.
26 points thus far for Alpha, but not a big deal. He's still putting on a good show. Shots back behind, finds another player. Cell caught in a box just outside. Rotating forward, 9 players remaining. Skalama goes down to fall damage to the feed. ETQ eliminated by that combat shotgun, so powerful in these close range fights. Alpha, 6 eliminations, looking for the 7th, pushing through, applying pressure through the wall, does not want the player inside to take the chance to get anything. Mongraal picks up another elimination, then immediately gets eliminated, goes out in 7th place, almost the top 5 for those points, only going to get 5 placement, could still be big enough to make his way to New York City. We will have to see before too long. Top 5 now. Alpha, 30 builds, a mini opportunity. Anything to heal right now is going to be big. You don't want to be caught by players that may have positioning, and Oldies does in fact have that positioning. A 1v1. Players are basically 1-2 boxes away from each other, and Oldies may take the chance to rotate up out of the storm. We'll see here, stuck against the edge. Airwalks, the ultimate high ground, just waiting. 97 builds for Oldies, but only 1 for Airwalks.
52 to 58 in points. This could end up being the difference. Oldies looks to go for it, and he gets the zone back from Airwalks. He takes away the zone, but Airwalks knocks him down. No fall damage coming through. Can Airwalks find the shot?
No build.
Oldies just keeping the zone in the area, and Oldies gets the victory royale, pushes him up to 55. Airwalks falls at 58 with no builds.
Imagine being Oldies knowing you just eliminated Airwalks from Solary, Mongraal from Secret. You've got to be feeling really good about that game. A big push. A very, very stacked lobby.